I'm a big fan of the heart block, but I've never actually tried it before. I wanted to give it a try, and my very first stop to try to find a pattern was Pinterest. I found the block that I wanted, and I will include a link down below. We are going to need 4 1.5-inch squares for each heart block. I decided to make as many as I could because I'm going to make a lot of these heart blocks. Next, we are going to need 4.5-inch squares. We need 2 of them, one for each of the top portions that are going to be attached to the 1.5-inch squares. The bottom of the heart block is made up of 2 half-square triangles. So you will need a background and a color piece for each half. So you're going to need 2 5-inch background squares and then 2 5-inch color squares. So once again, you're going to need 2 5-inch squares for the color, 2 5-inch squares for the background, and that's the bottom of the heart block. Then for the top, you're going to need 2 4.5-inch squares and 4 1.5-inch squares. In order to make the 2 half-square triangles for the bottom of the heart block, you will need to draw a line from corner to corner down the back of the background square. We're going to do that on both sides for both squares. And then we're going to draw a line on the back from corner to corner of the 4 1.5-inch squares. And I just use a regular pen because these are going to be either cut lines or they're not going to be seen anyways. I'm a big fan of chain piecing. So first you're going to take those 4.5-inch squares and put the 1.5-inch squares on either corner, just like this. And I sew just to the side of that line that I drew for these. When it comes to the 5-inch squares, you're going to sew 1/4 of an inch on either side of that line that you drew. With chain piecing, I grabbed those first 2 4.5-inch squares and I put the other 1.5-inch square on the top, just like this. bring around those two 5-inch squares and sew down the other side of the line that we drew. Go ahead and set the seams with your iron before we cut the pieces that we need to cut. I used scissors because I didn't want to go to my cutting mat, but you can go to your cutting mat and use your rotary blade and your ruler. I just chose to use scissors because it was super simple. For the 4.5 inch squares, just cut a 1/4 inch about away from that line that we drew, or the sewing line. After cutting, we're going to go ahead and open up those seams and iron them open. Open both of these corners out, and then the half square triangles, you're going to open both of those out as well. And yes, for the bottom corners, you're going to have you're going to have an extra half square triangle, which just means you have to make another one. Clip off the dog ears, and then to assemble, you're going to need 2 half square triangles on the bottom, and then the 2 4.5 inch squares on the top. I sew the top 2 together, and then I sew the bottom 2 together. I included this piece just so you know that everybody makes mistakes. I was getting ready to open them, and the top did not line up. And so I decided to pull out the seam ripper and re-sew them. I did a better job of lining up those top 2 squares, so the V in the middle of the heart lined up a lot better than it did the first time around, and re-sewed it. Open the seams and make sure that one goes one way and the other one goes the other way, so you can nest the seams. And I will show you what nesting the seams looks like. Seams makes it less bulky, and they really lay nicely when one goes one way and the other one goes the other way. You can feel the difference. Then you're going to sew the top to the bottom. Set your seams and then open it up, and you have a fully completed heart block. I trim up the heart block just to make sure that all the sides are even. I think with this one, when I get all the heart blocks made, I'm going to put sashing and cornerstones on the end of it. I will make sure and post a video when I get that part done. Currently, I have 27 quilts started, so I should start finishing some of these. I absolutely love the way these scrappy little heart blocks are turning out. I can't wait to make some more. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe for more videos.